Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final table of this main event at the Aplpt Albury at the Commercial Club. My name's Jordan Bromley. I'll be commentating for you down to a winner this afternoon, or this evening, should I say. These guys playing for a first place prize of $17,395, second $10,975, third $6,440, with the top three finishers all collecting $1,500 APL million tickets as well. I mean, they're on the screen now, short stack, just 4 big blinds for Edward Sujito. Action now on Wallace Abasana. Finds the raise to 100K with Ace King. A few players sub 15 big blinds as well, but obviously they're going to have to wait to see what Edward does before making any brash decisions. They really want to make sure they get that ladder first. Got Chris MCF 1980 cheering on Jackie. Action over to Michael, King 8 into the mark. Nine 8 suited for Jackie. Looks like she's just going to try and raise. Looks like it's going to get through. Nobody wakes up with anything to be able to fight back with. Brown really thinking this one through with 7 deuce for some reason.
Players in the Sunday NLH, your blinds are up 1,500, 3,000, 3,000 big blind ante.
Oh, Perry, 11 big blinds and Ace 3 suited plus 2. Ooh, Edward with sevens. He's going to pile, but Wallace wakes up with ace-king immediately behind. Counts requested. Yeah, ace-king finds the isolation. Isolation, excuse me. These sevens against the ace-king to potentially get us down to 8 straight away. We saw an ace folded, so Edward is a little bit more than a 50-50 favorite, sitting closer to 60-40. Let's see if he can hold on through all 5 of these, though. Queen and a couple of 3s is safe. 6 as well, needs to fade. 5 outs on the river. Can do it.
Stand up equity. Yeah, it works. Straight away. Actually, I didn't even need to stand up equity. Always helps. Never have too much equity, yeah. We should never get 100%, so you need that. This jumper is 10% equity. Minimum.
Jackie jamming in ace-queen. Lance waking up with ace-queen behind as well. Is Lance going to run this as well? Anthony Townsend in chat says good luck. No, he folds! Jackie's going to be jamming so many worse hands for 13 bigs or 12.5 bigs, I would think. I'm not sure I'm ever folding ace-queen in my own shoes, but he is going to pass it up, and Jackie's not going to be chopping this pot up. She's going to be able to take everything down. As well as also lets it go. Queen 10 for Lance goes down. Michael folds. Richard, 20 big blinds and Queen 9. The pot, King 10-7. Richard with a gut shot. Yutong with a 7 or 4 to either chop it up or improve to the best hand. Looks like a bet of 60k and a call from the gut shot. Turn card. Oh my goodness. Well, turns out 5 outs can be half the deck sometimes, as that 4 arrives to give this Queen 4 the best hand. River card doesn't change anything. Dave, no typo. The difference is the AP or million tickets, which is awarded to 3rd plus. Yeah, a bit of a chuckle there from Richard. He's been had. King Jack for Wallace. Gonna keep using that chip lead. Queen Jack suited for Yutong. Gonna jam this one on the button. Perry probably should be piling the ace-9 in. Would have loved to have done it as the first man in, but instead facing this rip. Let's see if he is still going to make that decision. Eventually folds. Down goes to 7-5 as well. Ace King goes in from Richard Edward. 6.3 bigs in the small blind with 8s. He's made a lot of very, very tight folds, and he's done quite a lot of tanking as well. Don't think anything is going to be any different here. I don't expect this is going to be a very quick decision. Oh, he's going to run it. Wow, I thought for sure he was going to be folding, but he decides to run it.
Do it, baby. I'm ahead. Hold it. Shiniest aces like ace king.
Let's see all 5 8s. Ace King needs to fade aces and kings. Wow, he flops a set. Needs to fade jacks now. 9 on the turn. Anything but a jack. Another 9. Full house. The tanking will continue, guys. And everybody else is kind of in the blender because of that. Edward up to 16 bigs. Everybody else is actually around either the same amount or slightly shorter. So he's gone from being the micro stack to being comfortably in the top 4. Or top 5, should I say.
Dealers and so stack, bonus for up ones for 10,000, 20,000 with the 20,000 refund into bonus and next hand for ones to stacks. Thank you.
Already double. Two all in. No, you win hundreds all in. Two and two. Right. No matter what. Even aces will lose on this game, right? Sorry. Even aces will lose on this game.
Yeah, you can.
Ace deuce this time for Wallace in the small blind. Probably a hand you could just jam. And wow, he will take it. Some nice aggression here from the chip leader. Nine eight folding. Ace king for Wallace as he keeps getting dealt some big hands. Edward killing time off the clock again. There's a raise to 120. Oh, it's waking up with 6-5 suited. Yeah, the 6-5 comes along. Gut shot for the 6-5.
Doing something stupid. What you got there? Puppet? 5, 50. Go all in.
60k. You don't think the gut shot's going anywhere and does make the call. Turn card 3. River is a 5, so the ace king no longer the best hand.
Check your sleeves, mate. Keep it the ace king.
Ace king is a 4-3.
The ace king, right? Enough. How much have you had on the bottom table so far? What, 3, 4?
Ten 7 suited for Yu Tong. Folding likewise 10-7 offsuit. And goes the raise of the 6-5.
If he gets Ice King again.
Whilst taking that one down. Down goes the 8 deuce, Lance, ace, jack. Ace jack Lance opening to 130. Sixes for Roan in the small. I think should be a jam. Obviously, he's worried about Perry stack. I still think sixes is far too good of a hand to be folding. Finds the min raise. And now I wonder if Lance is just going to call or if he is going to rip. Looks like we're just going to see a flop. 640 in the middle. Less than that behind the flop. Ace high all diamonds. Ace jack with the jack of diamonds for Lance. Rode with one out. In goes a bet.
Ace King is a full three against me.
100k. I think Lance should just call. You have a very, very nice hand and kind of want to allow Roan to just bluff it off if he has a bluff. I think jamming would be a bit of a catastrophe. Yep, call just goes in. Five of clubs on the turn. Still only one out remaining. 840 in the middle. Roan with 535 behind. Run checks it. That's reaching very quickly. Fires in a bit of 250, half of Roan's stack. Roan lets it go.
Loads players remaining in the inner lane. Shot clock terminator. This is your 90-second call. Shot clock terminator players. 90-second call.
Nine 4 for Edward. Wallace is 6-3.
Ready, those players in the NLH shot clock terminator, please come take your seats. Tournament is about to restart in 30 seconds time.
Over to Roan. Looks like it's actually over on Michael, who has jammed Richard in the big blind with 10-8. Also lets it go. Round to the blinds, Richard with 4 deuce. Just can't get anything going. Wallace. Well, this is a pretty wide open into the shorties with ace deuce. Richard, you're definitely going to want to hope that you can capitalize on this. Instead, it's Lance who's going to be able to pocket kings. Rowan's going to be killing an ace. And goes the raise. Falling around to Perry with ace 10. Over to Wallace. Obviously realizing that this 3-bet isn't going to be too weak, I wouldn't think. Chip lead on chip lead violence isn't something that happens super often. Does eventually fold. Got Josh James cheering on Eddie. This time it's Wallace's turn with the monster. Aces. King 6 suited for Roan. It's on with ace 3 into the muck. Perry in the small blind also folding. What's it going to be for Edward? 7 deuce offsuit. Shows the 7 deuce and mucks. Ace Jack for Lance. 6s for Roan. It was the hand that cost him quite dearly less than an orbit ago. Let's see if he plays it differently this time and decides to rip it in. No, he folds. You can go the 10s over this raise. Lance obviously not going to be folding for this much more, and the cards are on their back. We see that a jack has been folded.
We have all in call on final table of the main event. Pocket turns all in at risk against the ace jack of diamonds. Flop is queen a5, two
A couple of
diamonds,
diamonds.
ace jack, flush draw. Turn is the 3 of hearts.
Block the diamond.
River's the 4 of hearts. Pocket turn's going to get a double.
No bust out just yet.
Gotta make it a little swing.
Yeah, two diamonds.
It's never easy, man.
Never easy. No matter what.
That's it.
I do high card. Your confidence with my button is moved. Let's start.
Fives for Lance. Finds the raise up. All aces though for Wallace. These two chip leaders just wanting to play big pots against each other, as he's going to set the trap. It looks like he was feigning that he didn't realize there was a raise and that he was trying to limp blind be blind. Oh, I wonder how this is going to go. Very sneaky. Jackie's not falling for it. She's just getting out of there. Given the percentages, it looks like only 1-5 is left. The flop. Oh my god! The case 5. Lance locating a full house on this Jack-Jack 5 board. But it checks all the way down? What? How is this checking down? Bet from Wallace of 300k. Lance. Cutting out a raise to what looks like 700 or 900. Call. Fives get flipped over and they are very good. Wallace down to 20 bigs, Lance up to 53. Ace-8 raised. Lance with the king deuce. As the fold is made. Ace king for Yutong. Oh, an ace queen for Perry. Yutong probably wondering whether or not he should just rip this one in or if he should find the min raise. Looks like he's going to just pile it in. Rather animatedly. Likewise, Perry goes for it too. Fours for Wallace now, eyeing these guys off. He makes the call, he would actually be a pretty big favorite to bust these guys, but he correctly, I think, lets it go. Ooh, and Lance folding King Jack in the middle there. Cards on their back.
We have another all-in and call on the final table. Ace Queen is all-in and at risk against Ace King of Diamonds. Flop is Jack 10 7 2 diamonds. Ace King of Diamonds has got a royal flush draw.
King.
3 of clubs on the turn.
King.
Needs to find a king on the river. Can't do it.
We are going to lose.
As we say GG's, Perry
Finisher.
has been eliminated in 9th position. Queen Jack goes in for Richard from under the gun for a 10.5 bigs. Edward eventually folds. Have the clock ready, ladies and gentlemen, please. 9-3 also going down. Oh, Roan with ace-4 suited in the small and 4.2 big blinds. It's uncomfortable, but I think you probably should put it in. Looks like he's just going to pass it up, and likewise the 9-5 not interested. Very nice jam to get through for Richard. Good D Caruana once again saying that RJ's got this. There goes King 8. Jackie not getting any opportunities. Ace 9 for Jackie. Is this the moment? Have to feel that it must be, right? Up go the chips and in go the chips. Folds to Michael, ace 4 on the button. Likewise, the King 6, I don't think would be interested either. I think she's going to get this one through. Ace-9 for Jackie. Once again, pushing the chips forward. Yutong weighing the options up with Ace-5. I think against an under-the-gun open jam, you probably just have to pass it up. Edward likewise, 9-3 is going to kill some time before folding. Oh, no, he doesn't. He just folds. There we go. Ace Queen for Wallace in the big blind. Edward 10 deuce. He folds.
Ace again? Gonna get 3 bits. Ace Queen is better than Ace King.
This is no good. 5. Ace king no good. No good. 6 5.
Ace Queen is okay.
Really, if I'm in
Ace
the
King no good.
Big last bet.
King 10 for Roan. 6.7 big blinds. Passes it up.
No, unbelievable. Look at that. I just snapped phone.
gunshot. That's a good fold.
Oh, you folded 6 out of the hand. Just use some monsters.
Nobody with any hands just yet. Take 5 for Jackie in the small blind.
Not this time. You want to relive it?
5 is the last 5. I got Jack 5. And I full house on the floor. Jack, Jack 5.
Oh, that would have been.
Yeah.
I small 3-bet. You call.
Yeah. It still works out the same. Except probably all the chips go in then.
Maybe minimum loss.
Bigs.
You right. 3x?
I raised, he
I
flagged.
I think he kind of limped, and then I was like, what's going on? He limped into the big blind, not realizing there was a raise, and then tossed it up.
Yeah.
Are they? Not the 8K.
Yeah. Minimum 3.
Maybe 3-bet. 2x 3-bet. 2x 3-bet. He called. Lost the full house. More or not.
10s for Roan facing the small blind limp.
The Undertaker.
Should just jam. Yeah, and in it goes.
Your VP's so high, but you've had quality hands on all of them. And we haven't seen any 57%, and they've all been premiums nearly. It's like, come on.
King 8 goes down for Edward.
Two prices. Flexing too much there. Lowest testosterone level.
8-6 open from Lance. He's going to take it down.
Min-range not
Ace Jack for Wallace +2.
Alright, well, once stack your, they come and take your seats. This is your 2.5 minute call.
Lance finds kings and finds the 3-bet to 400 as Wallace and Key just keep going at each other. Roan with the ace-9 facing this action. I think it should be a pretty clear fold. Given some of the other hands that he's folded so far, it would shock me if he puts this in now. Looks really unsure, and against open 3-bet, does eventually fold. Likewise, Michael folds the same hand. Queen deuce for Richard goes down. Wallace now. We can see that he's only 16% to win this one. That's because I think 2 or 3 aces have been folded. Out of position as well. I think this one should just go into the mark. Lance hasn't really been messing about with these 3-bets. Been pretty value heavy so far. Looks like he's not a believer.
Alright, all dealers in the one stack room commencing at 15, 30, 30. All tables, you right, shuffle up and deal.
Eventually folds. Nice fold. Queens for Jackie for 12 bigs. Do we just see an all-in? I think that's probably the best choice. No, she just raises to 200. Nobody else waking up with anything just yet. Yutong is 6 deuce, not going to be doing anything either.
Thank you.
Changeover of dealers.
Yeah, I heard that, yeah.
Third must be 8.
Ace queen for Wallace, but ace king for Jackie. She piles it in. Action folding around to the blinds. Nobody else waking up with anything to fight with. Richard with ace-5 of clubs is thinking for 8 bigs, but I think against open jam, you can recognize that your hand is not going to be doing well enough. Does eventually let it go. Yutang's not even aware that it's on him yet. Oh, Edward wakes up with 9s. Yeah, I don't know what I would do here. This is a very, very gross spot. Looks like he doesn't think for too long and folds. Even though he's only got 5 bigs and Wallace obviously snaps it off. Jackie needs to hold, fade a queen here.
Big call by Wallace is ace queen.
Can she hold on here? Massive pot.
Prop is king 6-3.
It's king high.
2008.
8 of clubs is safe. No clubs for either one, and Jackie's going to get the full double up.
You've been very consistent doing it. Yeah.
Still at 8, so we're still marching along slowly. King Jack for Jackie finds the raise. She moves to 31 big blinds, which is second in chips. The only other person north of 13 blinds. Wow. Look at the ICM cage all of these guys are in. Ace queen for Lance. Action folding to the blinds. Nobody waking up with anything major. Fours for Roan. 7.2 bigs. Not good enough. Over to Edward. 4.8 big blinds in the cutoff. Good luck, sir. Tenner for Jackie gets folded over to Lance. What's it going to be? Jack 5 offsuit. Can't be calling. Ace 5 for Richard, raising to 175k instead of jamming. In goes the jam from Wallace. King Queen for Roan. Are we going to see him fold this? It looks like Wallace is actually forced all in here. Only had like 1.2 big blinds behind. So Roan is the effective stack here and doesn't really need to worry about Wallace because Wallace is just ripping it in for 1.2 bigs. I think King Queen is probably too good to be folding. What do you guys think in the chat? Let me know what you think Roan is going to be doing here. He folds.
Looking at the all-in call on the final table of the main event. Wallace is all in and at risk with pocket tens. Been called by Richard with ace 5 of spades to the flop.
Ace 5 and 10s. Let's see the run out.
Flop is 9 deuce 4. 2 diamonds.
10 safe. Needs to fade aces and 3s.
Turns a 7.
7 likewise.
A river is a 6.
And the 6 of diamonds means we don't have an elimination. We're still at 8. King 7 for Jackie. Lance with King Jack. That's on the button, still thinking things through. Eventually decides to fold. Running with ace-9. Against Jackie's open, probably should be putting this in for 5 bigs. Against an aggressive chip leader or larger chip stack opening, I think this one should just go in. Does put it in.
Well, the all in a call final table of the main event.
All in and a call, King 7
With ace 9 off,
to potentially
big
get us
call by
down
Jackie
to
with
7.
King 7 of spades. Flop is 7.
When there's a 7, button open ender for the ace-9.
Turn is the queen. River queen. We are going to MJ in 7th
Another
place.
queen. GG's to Rowan Penamora. Though that scorecard is incorrect. He is out of here in 8th position.
Hello, Jordan.
Hello there, Chris. Welcome back.
Thought I'd pop my head in for about 10 minutes, just in between all the madness that is the final day of the series here at APL. All these final tables being reached in a flurry. Got
How
through
is
the
that madness
majority.
treating you?
Pretty well, actually. A bit more spaced out today than usual. So sometimes I'll take a photo, and then just as I go to sit down and process it and type in the names and post the update, I'm interrupted by another final table, and then it backlogs and compounds over and over until I've got so much to do because I haven't been able to sit down and do it. It's been spaced out, so it's been kind to me, which is good. So no complaints. Just waiting on the Monster Stack final table, and we still have Rego open in our Shot Clock Terminator, the 660, $200 per knockout. That's the last event that will close this series, and that's still open for another 40 minutes, and then we're all locked out for another Albury series here at the Commercial Club.
Fantastic. Wallace here is going to fire in the ace-jack suited.
Maybe good for.
Action folding around to the blinds. Nobody waking up with anything.
Yeah.
Richard giving it some thought, but I think he does just have to let it go, unfortunately. His hand just is not good enough to be calling off a rip. We're seeing some pretty remarkable folds being made in this one, Chris. You're going to witness a lot of tanking.
Oh, well, yeah, I've
very tight
picked
folds.
up on the tanking. Oh.
Another orderly call, final table of the main event. Wallace is all in.
Oh, wow, the call's been made.
Wallace is all in at risk with ace jack of spades.
As you can see,
As I believe it's Richard that's actually all in and at risk. Just.
Yep. I might have already seen this one in real time, as you might be able to tell on your screen.
Hello there.
Flop is 3.
Oh, there's a gutter.
7.
It's never easy.
Turns a 4.
The 4 needs to fade 5s and 6s.
River is
Instead the jack. And we say
Who
GG
is Richard in 7th place?
to Richard.
Yeah, I see a lot of this stuff in real time, but not aware of the action what the stacks are, what the dynamic is, so you'd have a better idea than I would. I'll walk over and I hear or see a knockout, And then pretty much after this, I'm pretty much in the dark as to what happens next. I go in, straighten up some of the chairs and make things look nice and neat. We keep the empty chairs there. Some people ask, why not remove the chairs? And that's so that the players that are still seated don't veer too much off to the side, so that the cameras that are designed to pick them up keep them in frame. Because if those chairs aren't there, they start wandering and they move their chips around and that. So it's almost a bit like a child lock in a sense. So
yeah, it keeps it smooth.
Yep.
Well, Wallace with King Queen. He's probably been the one player at this table that hasn't been afraid to make decisions for 10 big blinds if he feels it's going to be profitable. So I would love to see him just rip this six-handed. King Queen definitely does well enough to jam, I would think. And he does jam it in, and Jackie with eights is probably going to look this up. She's going to ask for a count. But I do think that eights should be going in pretty frequently here. Now the question is, do we find the flat or do we find the rejam? I think the flat is probably preferable. Rejam doesn't really make sense given you've still got Lance directly behind you. And the other stacks are obviously short enough that it wouldn't really impact your decision what they do behind. So I think just calling this one. See what she decides to do. Maybe she's erring towards folding. Yeah, well, she does let it go.
I was going to say, I didn't hear an announcement with Jackie's involvement for that one, so I...
A7 suited for you, Tom.
So perhaps waiting for a better spot. Obviously, 4 players still yet to act behind her, so that possibly coming into consideration. And on the face of it, yeah, it might seem like a fair call.
Probably
but
shouldn't,
yeah.
because Wallace is jamming for 9.9 bigs. The only person that would impact her decision here would be Lance. Everybody else has less than 10 bigs. So if you're calling the King Queen, everybody else is kind of accounted for. That's why I think putting in the flat rather than the rejam is probably the appropriate way to go.
Yep.
Yutong really agonizing over this one.
This is pretty tough, this spot, right? This is, would you say it's marginal, or do you think it's pretty easy either way?
I think it's pretty close. I think I'm probably just folding, given that you would be the stack at risk. And you're also looking at the other shorties. Michael's got 4.8 bigs, Edward's got 5 bigs.
Yep.
Like, he and Wallace are both in the ICM cage in the sense that they both kind of just want to allow these guys to bust out. The difference between busting out now and busting out in 4th, which is what they're potentially owed given their chips right now, is about a $2,300 difference.
Yeah.
So this is where the ICM factor becomes pretty major.
Yep, just looking at those payouts now, yeah, it's 41.60 for 6th and then 64.25 for 4th. So yep, the 2,300, the difference in those two spots, and 2 stacks sub 6 bigs. Don't want to be busting before them.
These guys have been doing quite a lot of tanking. Like, the decisions to be made at this one, average decision time have been at least 45 seconds facing any open or any jam. So it's been a very slow final table.
Yeah, I was going to say this average stack isn't very healthy at this point in time. Yeah, 6-handed. It's around the 1.5 mil mark. 1.6.
Does decide to fold.
With the blinds 5,100, so that's 60 bigs for a main event final table. You'd expect maybe a touch better, but when the tank time on average is so long, less hands being played, and can't really blame the the structure too much when there's so many ICM-based decisions that are causing this agony for these players in the
Yeah.
tank.
Yeah, these decisions where the difference factor could be multiple thousands of dollars, obviously, can make it very stressful and very difficult to kind of keep your brain switched on to making the best decision possible. As we see Jackie here with 10s, her turn to take
She's
the
picking up-
size north.
She's picking some hands.
Yeah. Does raise over to the blinds. Nobody waking up with anything. Edward down to 3.8 bigs. 7-6. This is one of those hands that I mentioned earlier that you probably
Yeah.
should put in the defend with. But he just snap folds. That is the fastest decision he has made since being on the feature table at any point today.
Oh,
So
wow.
props to him for picking the pace up a little bit, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's been very, very, very cautious with his decision making, and he's been actually had the clock called on him a few times.
Yep.
King deuce for Jackie, folded likewise 4 deuce for Lance. Jack 9 for Edward in the small blind. This is one of those hands that just should go in for 3 bigs. You have a picture card, you should just jam. You have 3.3 big blinds behind, this just goes in. Or it
Yeah, and
should
it's
go
not
in.
It's not like Wallace is sitting too comfortably with a big stack either, so he's not calling light.
No, definitely not. Yep, all in it is. For this amount,
It's tight, but you have
sucks obviously with
4 high.
4-3. Yeah. However, you have to think of it as far as an equity standpoint goes, right? You have 2 big blinds invested. You need to call, what, 2.8 more
Yeah.
to win a pot that would be potentially worth 9 big blinds. Do you have 30% often enough? Do you have 25% often enough? Maybe against any 2 overs that aren't a pair, you probably do, but he does decide to pass it up.
Yeah, and that's taking into account the equity and percentages and obviously the pot odds and all that. But in terms of like ICM value of those 2 big blinds, for example, when there's 2 stacks that that have 5 and 6 big blinds in total, like your 2 big blinds, you know, could make a big difference later on, and the difference in not doubling up a short stack and all that as well. Does that come into play?
I mean, it does a little bit, but probably not to the extent that you would.
Yeah, not that in depth. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, not so much that. It doesn't carry that much weight.
Okay.
Yeah. It's more so purely a numbers game as to whether or not you feel like you have enough equity, and plus you're thinking about the immediacy of getting a ladder. Like if 30% of the time you increase your payout by $1,000 and it costs you 2.8 big blinds relative to your 10 big blind stack, then it becomes a little bit closer of a decision, right?
Yeah, yep.
It's like
Yeah,
Jackie's
not
gonna
much
get a walk
action.
king queen.
Wow. Yeah, she's getting some nice hands in her direction, and as someone that obviously I have a fair bit to do with Jackie, doing a lot of our content at each series, so she'll be firing events like the main and the monster and the deep freeze and the Jack Star, and every now and then I'll go over and see how she's going, and it's more often than not of late not very fun. A lot of coolers and on the wrong side of bad beats and being hard dead. So if it's all built up to her being hit by the deck here, I would say that it's fair, maybe a bit overdue for her. So I'll go into bat for her in that stage.
Yeah, fair enough. Always good to see Jackie running deep.
Absolutely,
Michael
legend of the
jams in
game.
the ace 4. 4.5 big blinds going into the big blind next hand. This is a nice rip. 8-6 for Edwards, obviously going away over to the 2 chip leaders in the blinds. Jackie 7-8 suited. If she was in the big blind, I think she calls that hand. In a small blind with a player still to act, I think she just has to let it go as she did. And Jack 4, probably just letting it go. If it was for 3 bigs, it's probably a closer decision. But for 5, probably just folding. Jack 4 suited, probably a call. But also as the chip leader, you have to think whether or not it's worthwhile continuing this kind of ICM formation going. It's less important about kind of an immediate pay jump because you don't really gain any advantage from that. Because the 5 big blinds is going to extend your chip lead over Jackie massively. So yeah, keeping the shorties in and keeping that ICM situation going is probably going to be a more welcome sight for him than kind of the immediate pay jump, you know?
Yep. And that's a concept that wouldn't be obvious to a lot of players. They immediately see the opportunity to try and get a knockout, but like sometimes it's better to wait for a better spot and grind away at the shorter stacks and let them all fear each other instead of you're doing all the other short stacks a favor by knocking one of them out. So you want to make their life as difficult
and
as possible.
I actually think it was Jackie that told me a story about how she was on the bubble of the main event at the WSOP. And she had ace-king suited in the small blind with a 2 big blind stack in the big, and she actually folded to elongate the bubble and to keep the bubble going.
Yeah. I heard the exact same story.
Yeah, netting her many big blinds more, which is kind of the crazy end of the spectrum as far as continuing an ICM spot. But it's one example of how it can work for you as the chip leader. Yutong with Queen 10 here, 7 bigs under the gun. He's going to be putting in a third of his stack next hand in form of the blinds. So, how much does he favor running it for this amount now?
Again, agonizing. He's put on that little show. Not that he's putting it on, but like he's got his face. That's,
I get what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
not comfortable.
He shows discomfort a little more visibly than others.
Yeah, Edward obviously with an easy decision here. 9's always going in. Yeah, all in announced. And I will say that him saying all in like that, announcing all the biscuits very confidently. If I'm in the big blind or if I'm in the small blind or in the big blind as Michael and I had a hand like King 10 suited, I wouldn't be feeling great about it. What does Michael have? Yeah, Jack 8 offsuit's obviously just going to be an easy fold, but that jam definitely didn't feel uncomfortable from Edward. No tanking, no nothing. It was a very quick look at the cards. Yep, that's it. Let's go. So, giving away a fair bit of info there.
I'll just come back to your story about Jackie. When I said I heard the exact same story, I heard the exact same story about Adamo doing the same thing recently in a tournament where it was slightly different, where he was overwhelming chip leader and clicked it to 2 bigs, and there was a short stack jam for 4 bigs, and he open folds ace king suited. And again, it was the exact same concepts. And something more recent, or maybe a little more accessible in recent memories, when Malcolm Trainer won the Mystery Millions. He ISO'd with like 7-5 offsuit against a short stack 3-handed, and basically went over to his rail saying, I don't want to win this hand. He basically wanted to keep the super short stack in so he could keep second in chips under pressure constantly and grind away at his stack. Because once you get to heads up, it's a little more free flowing, but when you're stuck in the middle between a super short stack and the chip leader, you're just waiting on that super short stack to bust. So Malcolm was playing on that as much as possible, and he accidentally, I think, flopped the straight and knocked out the short stack, and he was actually distressed, and you could hear him mic'd up saying to Israel, I didn't want to knock him out. So there's examples of that exact kind of strategy that you're referring to, what Jackie was referring to. Definitely merit in it, and it's not uncommon for a reason.
Yeah, I remember hearing him actually say that. I think it was to Cooper on the rail at the time.
Yeah.
And I spoke to him about it actually at the APL Million after the fact, about the kind of run that he had in that event and about that exact hand. And yeah, I recall him saying something very similar to me about how it was a spot in which he knew that he could apply pressure to the guy that he eventually went heads up with, but He didn't really want the elimination to occur because he was in such a comfortable place, basically taking chips from the both of them. So
Absolutely.
ultimately,
And I
he
made
just had to
that-
go and win a heads up anyway. So
Oh yeah, not difficult for Malcolm, but I think that's more like glaringly obvious example. If you want to have a easily visible demonstration of that practice in action, it's you just watch a super short stack and someone stuck in the middle who's just handcuffed. Can't play many hands because if they bust before the short stack, it's a disaster. So Malcolm just constantly exploiting that and not wanting that short stack to bust. So the super short stack's just a prop in his game, which is cool. And another quote that I won't forget Malcolm saying is, "We ran so bad that tournament because he didn't pull any big bounties." Some other people cashed as much as he did and probably didn't even make the place prize money area. But we'll come back to this hand with Jackie picking up the jacks.
nobody waking up with anything. Wallace 10-8 suited is one of those hands that you should definitely defend, I think. Though Jackie has made it a little bit more than min, so that will disincentivize the defend. I still think 10-8 suited is good enough to come with call. I think folding this is a little bit of a catastrophe, and yeah, he recognizes that and is going to put it in. He really does not want to flop a pair. If he wants a pair, he wants at least two of them. and instead he gets one of the worst
disaster
possible flops.
Yeah. Any bet he'll do.
Yeah, Jackie
a bit
should
large
just
here
take this
from
one
Jackie.
away.
I feel like a smaller bet achieves the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, she doesn't want to face a check raise at all, but when she chooses that size, I think in her mind she probably is just going to be committing herself to calling off the jam. Because there are going to be ace-X hands that aren't just going to rip it pre, that are going to defend the big blind, so it's not like she has a hammer lock on the hand with a pair of jacks.
Absolutely. Yep.
We saw that she did, but
yeah, but yeah, always pretending we can't see the cards and thinking about all possible scenarios from what each player might be thinking. Michael there with a nice one. Just a plain rip.
Yeah, this one goes in. Michael's been very card dead. And with ace-7, this is one of those hands that I think he will fold given how quiet Michael's been.
Yeah. Even still, I don't... Even if Michael was slightly more active or different player or different context, you're still not loving the ace-7-0.
Yeah, no, this one is a muck. If you had ace-7 suited and Michael had jammed for the 7 bigs, it would be a little bit of a question, given you are covered. But yeah, in this scenario, he's just going to kill some time off the clock before folding. Eventually does. And nobody in the blinds waking up with anything either, so it's going to be another take it down from a shorty. Definitely is a bit of a war of attrition. Everybody's just kind of waiting for a monster to put the call in.
Have a change dealer as well. Ray, you've been fantastic. And in comes May. Well, speaking of puns, Jordan, I had a stroke of inspiration. Definitely a joke that I'd heard before, but
I'll try and guess the punchline.
Oh, it's to do with something to do with today's date.
Ah, yes. Do you want me to say the joke, or do you want me to?
Yeah, you can try. Yeah, or both. Yeah.
Okay,
I feel
well,
like,
I don't know any jokes about today's date. I know many regarding the 1st of May, but I don't know any regarding the 1st of March.
Okay.
I mean, outside of the whole post that I saw on Facebook about the last month thing.
Yeah, I'd like to encourage people to watch the video, but I might just end up explaining it in a sec. But we'll come back to this action here. Michael again picking up King Jack this time, the offsuit variant, and Lance here with a hand that might look to call a shove that's slightly smaller. This one's just a little too big.
Yeah, again, around that 5 big blind mark, I think King 5 finds the call, but for this much, it's it's a bit over the top.
Yeah, for 10, it's especially what 10 big blinds is worth in this stage of the game. Like 12 big blinds is worth being in the top 3 out of 6 stacks. So 10 big blinds is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, there's only around 90 bigs in play now, so we are certainly getting down to the pointy end.
I was just preparing like a graphic that we do for the total series prize pool, and we just write the span of the series, so 23rd of Feb to 1st of March, and it just reminded me of a joke I'd heard before, and I was like, I should have done this morning. I was like, you know what, I can do this pretty quickly. Filmed and edited the video. It's nothing special. Filmed on a phone. Editing's nothing great, but it's more about the punchline that matters, and had it from thought to delivery in the space of like 8 minutes. So I was pretty happy with that. It's very, very simple. I could probably just tell the joke now and it would be almost as effective and equally as unfunny, but we'll call this action first. Not much left to call.
No action to be had here. Ace-8 gonna pick up the blinds and ante there.
Yeah, so I go up to, Andy was on floor, went up to him and said, "Hey Andy, what's today's date?" And he goes, "March 1st. And then the camera cuts to me and I start marching and go, "Sorry, what's today's date?" So the joke there is implying that I interpreted his answer as he's not going to tell me what the date is unless I start marching, because he said March 1st. But of course, that is like
It's very similar to how a man goes into a supermarket and buys a collection of groceries.
Yeah. If there's eggs,
No, I don't.
Oh,
I
wait,
don't
what?
think- No, not about eggs. What?
Oh, like if they have milk. Never mind. Say your part, and I'll see if I can think of what I'm thinking of.
He says, "Well, do you want a box for those?" And he goes, "No, thank you. I don't like violence."
I use that one for. So we don't. We have all the trophies here, but they don't come in boxes. They all come in a bit of bubble wrap, and we kind of put that off to the side. So we hand our winners a trophy, and we don't really have a box for transportation for them, unfortunately. And depending on the person, because obviously I can annoy someone by joking that we have a box when we don't, but I'll say, "Do you want a box for these?" Oh, actually, wait, how do I word it? I've stuffed up my own joke. I'd say, "Do you want a box for these?" They'd say yes, and then I'll put up my fists and go, "All right, put them up," like as in, about to fight. You want a box for this? So yeah, exact same thing.
Has anybody taken you up on your offer and squared up?
So next time you see me, you'll see a bruise on my left. No, I'm joking. Yeah. Nah, I can't remember last time I actually used that one because, again, I don't want to make fun of the fact that if someone's traveling back home, don't have a box. We got bubble wrap lying everywhere. The problem is those massive trophies, the cutting board size ones. They're not the easiest to transport, and they don't sit up very well on a table. They can they're thinner than they are long, so they don't balance well. I just have to have a conversation real quick. Go ahead with the by yourself for the moment, Jordan.
All right, wonderful. If you guys want to hear more of Chris's comedy, you can catch him Tuesday and Wednesday nights at the Comedy Club in Sydney. People laughed when he was younger, when he said that he was going to be a comedian. Well, nobody's laughing now. 6 foot for Jackie, 7'3" for Lance. Nobody waking up with any hands here. Yeah, resident sleep is right.
Back just.
Jack 10 goes in.
Oh,
7.
What are these blockers?
K. That's not what blockers means, Chris.
Blocking each other.
Back and forth with. That's not what that means at all. I've been going back and forth with people in the Facebook and YouTube chat saying about how they don't like blockers because there are 50 other cards you got to worry about, which is just
Oh.
not how that works at all.
Oh, I'm referring to it in a different sense. I'm just saying that
Yeah.
there's 2 jacks, 2 sixes, 2 tens. Now I know where you're coming from in that sense. Very key.
Yeah,
For example,
people have been getting on my nerves. I do if I
Yeah.
do say so myself.
I'm trying to think of the best example to explain certain things like blockers, like, you know, if a flush completes and, you know, 3 spades on the board, river runs out, I don't have a flush, but I do have the ace of spades in my hand. It's simply like I know that my opponent cannot have the nut flush. And that is a important thing to know, because if I jam, they can never have the nuts because I have the card that they need, and that is that's one sense of it. I know there's 1,000 others, but that's one thing that
I think as we see the King 8 get ripped, Jackie here obviously not doing anything. She's going to ask for a count. This is where I mentioned that you got to kind of see exactly what the stack is relative to the amount that you got to call, because she's probably thinking that 6-5 is going to be doing well enough against all of the hands, and she does put the call in.
And he is all in and at risk with king.
Yeah, I think this is
potentially to get us down to 5.
Absolutely fine.
Flop is king 8-3.
That's a tough one to come back from though. Needs running 4 deuce
6 on the turn.
or 6-6. River card is the ace, full double.
Ace on the river, and he's gonna get a double.
The percentages on
the
that
way
is
I like to explain blockers, it was 38% to 62, so it's actually much closer than anybody would think. So the way that I would explain blockers to people if they kind of are unsure on how they work is if the quarterback kind of snaps the ball, they need to have people there to be able to stop the offensive lineman or the defensive lineman from kind of aggressing. So they'll have blockers so that the TD can run play action. Sorry, the quarterback can run play action or just make a pass to one of the linebackers or the running backs that are trying to kind of get into the end zone. That's when blockers can be important. Just have to make sure you're aware of when they are kind of encroaching that play line.
Jordan, you're more than welcome to leave the commentary booth when you feel it's appropriate.
Mate, this is my commentary booth. You leave.
Well, on that note,
here for Edward, 8.1 bigs, Jack 4.
I have a monster stack final table to photograph, so I'll leave you with it for a moment. I'll be back shortly.
Wonderful, my friend. See you relatively soon. All players sub 10 bigs. Jackie at chip lead with 30. Nine 8 suited for Yutong. Under the gun. He's got 9.5 big blinds. It's gone on Lungless. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning in. Happy Sunday. Unless you're somewhere over in the States. In that case, happy Saturday. Nobody wanting a piece there. Action folds all the way through. Ace 9 for Edward, 8.1 bigs. Good luck. As no, he's raised to 200. Yes, there was a guarantee for this event. It was 75k, I believe. It's going to fold over to Yu Tong with the Jack 4, and it's going to get through. In goes the King Queen from Wallace. King Queen for Lance as well. I think Lance should definitely find the call or the rejam. Michael behind with 8s will probably be doing the call himself if he doesn't. Just give me one moment, guys. Michael does find the rejam. King Queen b8s. Wallace needs to find one of 4 outs, given King Queen was already folded.
Wallace is all in and at risk with King Queen. Big call by Michael's pocket 8s. Flop is 9-5-6.
Safe for the 8s. Safer on the turn. River card, what will it be? Ooh. Michael down to 160.
King 9, you can't.
I thought of pocket 3s.
Wow.
No, King Queen as well.
Oh, that's why you think for my time.
It is a little bit lungless, I believe. I've never been lucky enough to actually get out to Albury to check it out, but I've heard very good things. Plenty of very friendly faces out there. Seven 3 for Wallace in the big blind, facing this raise from Jackie. Doesn't defend. Ace 4 for Lance under the gun. Quick fold. folding around to the blinds. Also with 8-5 offsuit.
Did I miss much, Jordan?
You did not miss much at all, apart from Michael losing a big all-in with King Queen against pocket eights. Oh, sorry, yeah, King Queen against pocket eights, where his
nearly
pocket
the
eights were defeated by a Queen River when
Oh, wow.
King Queen was already folded, so there was down to 5 outs, or
Oh, wow.
4 outs, should I say?
It's the spot that Jackie was nearly in before when there was the rip with eights and she had... no, when there was the rip with King Queen and she had eights and elected to let it go. Just felt like 15, 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, somewhat similar. Deuces for Lance, facing this open from Wallace. Puts in the call, so we're going to see a flop. Jack 8-3, nobody improving. Deuce is still the best hand.
Feels weird
Difficult to know
seeing
that.
2 stacks around the 20 big blind mark after all the short stack jams with 5 and 6 big. It feels weird to see your hand go post for a moment.
Yeah, yep. King on the turn is anything other than a deuce is another over, but it does make the board more treacherous to navigate. He checks once more. If Wallace fires, can't see Lance wanting to continue against the second shell, especially when a lot of the flop c-bet bluffs probably would have improved. Hands like King 10, King Queen, King 9, all of those kind of with the middling wraparound backdoor straight type holdings. Yeah, the deuces do go down. Nice hand there from Wallace. Takes himself up to 23 big blinds, neck and neck with Lance. Jackie still in the lead with 29 bigs. Michael on fumes, 1.6 big blinds.
That's a kind of play that makes Wallace such a tough opponent. That's the kind of play you make if you can see that your opponent has deuces. You look at that board, it's not great for 6-7 diamonds, but picked up a sense that he could have a stab and get a fold, and that he did. So other players might not take that chance, might not feel comfortable. Obviously, with that kind of hand, if you want to win the pot, you have to bet at it, but he's definitely, would you say that he's probably been one of the more fearless players, or the most fearless in terms of his style on this FT, Jordan?
I'm not sure if I'd say fearless is the right terminology. He definitely seems like, outside of Jackie, he's got the most experience in a tournament of this kind of dynamic and with kind of this much up for grabs. So we see the Queen 6 rip, forced all in from the big blind. Wallace with the A6. Looks like he is going to find a raise here. Jackie folding Queen 10. I think Lance is going to fold his Jack 9 as well. Yep, down it goes, and good luck to Michael. Going to need it. He's pretty heavily dominated here.
All in and call on the final table of the main event. Michael is forced all in the big line with Queen 6 off. Is at risk against the A6 of hearts. Flops King 9.
No help yet. Needs a queen only.
Turns a jack.
Now a 10 or a queen.
And river is a 7.
Instead 7. GG.
Where goes Michael at 6 base?
Very unfortunate for Michael. He played very well. He played pretty solidly. He just did not have any run of cards to be able to spin up a stack at all on this final table. Sometimes then be the breaks on FTs like this. When the stacks are pretty short across the board, the variance is pretty high. Unfortunately, sometimes it is just your time to die. Down to 5 we go. 2 players still sub 7 big blinds. Threes for Wallace. Raising, Yutong putting in the king 8. Flipping we are.
There's all one in a call at the minute, final table. Yutong is all in and at risk with the king 8 offsuit being called by Wallace's pocket threes. King 8 at risk.
Threes against king 8. A pure flip. Not anymore. Set of threes. Running spades or running king 8. Well, that's the best card you could hope for. River card is another deuce, though. GG's to Yutong Do.
Yutong in 5th place.
All of a sudden, we are down to 4. Edward now our clear shorty. The other guys not so short anymore. 27, 25, and 20 big blinds respectively for Wallace, Jackie, and Lance. All of a sudden, these guys could be doing a bit of battling.
It'd be nice.
Always a bit of a...
To see, yeah, it'd be nice to see some battling. It'd be nice to see some post-flop play, some more pure poker rather than just some push fold and every decision being so ICM influenced. So it'd be good to see some decent poker around that 20 big mark average.
Edward not going to defend that one.
And we are all locked out for the series here at the Commercial Club Albury. No more events open for registration. So I'm just actually calculating the total series prize pool. All the final tables have been reached and we're just waiting on winners. Not least on this main event.
Queen Jack for Jackie, raising to 250 as the 120k blinds are making things more expensive. Wallace 10 deuce, no can do. JC says great carpet at Albury. Cross between Where's Wally book and mixed lollies. It looks like a Rorschach test at times. Do you see elephants?
If we do, I think we better address the elephant in the room.
Much more suited for Lance under the gun. Nice discipline fold there. Don't want to be getting that one opening. Sorry, don't want to be opening that one. Edwards 10 deuce obviously going down. Queen 7 and Jack 6. This one should be a blind limped pot. Yeah, the call goes in, and will Jackie check behind? Yes, she will. To a flop we go. King 8-5, backdoor flush draws and straight draws for both of these guys. Check, check it goes. The Queen 7 gets that backdoor straight draw, but Jackie improves to the best hand. 120 and a snap call, 600k in the middle. River card is another king, so this Queen 7's going to have to bluff if they want to win. Nope, just a check. Are we just going to see a check back from Jackie? Yes, we will. It's a great question, Jamie, but not one that I'm covering here. Tim Stimul is saying, good to have Jackie finally on stream. Yeah, well, we were saying that earlier. It's awesome to see her having a deep run, mixing it up in this final table. It'll be quite the winner's photo, I do say. I think everybody will try and get involved, even all the staff, so... Ace Queen for Jackie finds the raised blind be blind. Lance, 8-4, not interested. Yeah, Jamie, there are certain things that are outside my pay grade, and that is one of them. I was finding the raise with Jack 10. Ace 3 for Lance in the small. We haven't seen him take any 3-bet bluffs. This is no different. Yeah. Talkman21 says, great fight back from Wallace, was down under 2 big blinds. Yeah, he was. Anything can happen in live tournament poker. Lance with the Queen 10 on the button. Raising it up. King Jack going to defend. Ace Jack 7. $200k and a call. Lance doesn't want to... Sorry. I was going to say that Wallace doesn't want to make 2 pair. Instead, Lance improves to an open ender. Board pairing 7 on the river. This Jack is the best hand. $200K is the bet from the Jack. Lance just gonna fold the Queen 10. Hey AJ, asking if I'm gonna be seeing me back on the felt anytime soon. No, I don't think so. I'm quite happily retired. From tournaments anyway. Corey's asking if I'm going to be at the Aplpt in Brisbane. No, I won't be. I am no longer based in Brisbane. As we see Wallace with the raise. If I was based in Brisbane, 100%, I'd be down there every day saying hi. But it's a little bit far away from where I am now, so I won't be able to get there. Callum asking about the payout between 4th and 3rd. That is because of APL Million tickets that are part of the payout here. That is why there is that $15 difference.
So 4th is just that raw cash, and then 3rd is that cash plus $1,500 value ticket. So
yeah, that is correct.
We use our ordinary algorithm system matrix to calculate the prize pool, and it would have been 7,900 and whatever, and we subtract the $1,500 value of the ticket and just swap that in, and that's all outlined in all our schedules and structure sheets. Something that we've been doing for years now. It's always been top 3 in the main event, get an APL Million seat, winner of the monster stack, and the winner of the mini high roller, and that's part of the program that helps generate so many seats for that APL Million before a card is even dealt in August. Usually each year we have 1,000 entries in that APL Million main event before the first flight even opens for registration. So that's why it's the biggest tournament in the country. We find ways to get people into that tournament and help generate Australia's largest poker tournament, and a prize pool that's hit the $4 million mark for 2 years in a row, and no doubt will be a 3rd year where we're looking at a $700,000 plus top prize at Southport Sharks.
9s and King 9. Jacket with an opportunity to get us down to 3. Edward, the favourite though, to find a double up. Let's see all 5. Backdoor spades and straight draw for the King 9. That ain't one of them. King and a king only. Queen instead. Full double up, going the way of Edward. He cannot be eliminated just yet.
20 minutes.
seems invincible at the moment.
Longer than normal because we had to break early.
Oh, yeah, 6:30. 6:30.
Just won't die, will he?
No. This cockroach.
Jackie's saying, sharing the same sentiment, just won't die. will
Yeah.
he? Eddie's had a good series. Like I said, he's Sydney based, and I was surprised to see him down here in Albury. Still haven't followed up on the conversation to ask what brought him here, but because I haven't seen him too much on the tours in the past, usually playing across the various brands in Sydney. He's dealt in the past at Kings and Churchill's, so he's across the poker scene in various areas, and haven't seen him travel too much to play, not least in Albury, but he's had a couple of deep runs so far this week. Finished third in the one-shot freeze out for 2K. Obviously main event. Third in the Friday freeze out for $700, and fourth in a Saturday night hyper turbo for $400. So a third, a fourth, and another top four finish here. So pretty good record this week for Eddie. You'd like to go a bit higher than third maybe this time around. If there's an event to do it in, it's this, but being one of the shorter stacks needs some help. But from his 3 to 4 bigs not too long ago, that 12 is looking good, and he's no longer the short stack.
Yeah, Lance down into that shorty position. Wallace, our chip leader, sitting very comfortably. He and Jackie have been going back and forth. Lance was up the top for quite a while. After a couple of big pots that he actually won off of Wallace back earlier on this final table, most notably 5s against aces on a board of Jack, Jack 5, King 10. It was checked to the river, and then it went bet from aces, raised 2.5x from the 5s. Got him up to a very comfortable chip stack. I think even 5 million at that point it might have been. Maybe not that much. It was a very comfortable amount. Jackie with the ace queen facing this limp. I think we're going to see a raise come out. Got Sam Lee on Facebook cheering Eddie on. Jackie reaching for those green chips worth 100,000 each, taking it to 400 it seems.
So I think
No, 500.
I was going to say 3 and a touch.
Pretty
bigs,
large
perhaps.
size.
Maybe aiming for 3,
That's
maybe
4.2. Sometimes you see some of the kind of more professional, or we call them quote-unquote regs, that play in these fields. They are going to have some differing sizes, blind big blind facing limp of either 3 big blinds or 5 big blinds. Sometimes some are in the middle around that 4.5 as well, so not entirely sure off the top of my head which hands are going to kind of differ in that fact, but it is a strategy that you see from time to time.
So the opponent, if they're sticky, if they like to limp call a lot, or if they're just mixing in limps, it's part of an overall
No,
balance.
I think it's more kind of exact to the holding of the hand.
Okay.
Like with the polarity of the hand. If you have a hand like 9-3 offsuit, or kind of 8-3 offsuit, 8-deuce offsuit, sometimes these are hands that kind of unblock the folding range. By unblock, I mean the 8 and the deuce don't interact with hands that are going to naturally limp fold from your opponent. Hands like kind of that they are behind. Hands like Jack 5 offsuit, Queen 6 offsuit, Jack 7, stuff like that. So you can take that kind of 5 big blind size, but then the way that you mix that with stronger hands is that you do it with hands that are very polar. So either your weakest hands or your strongest hands is kind of a relatively easy way to look at it.
Gotcha.
And we see there Jackie obviously taking it to 4.3 big blinds with one of her stronger hands being the ace-queen offsuit. Obviously not folding that one to a limp jam BVB, I wouldn't think, even though it would have been for around 30 bigs. He letting go of king 4. King 10 for Lance for 8.6 big blinds. I'd love to see him just jam this. Yes, Ace 2000. We explained this one a little bit earlier regarding the $15 pay jump. It's regarding the APL million tickets that are guaranteed for first, second, and third in all the main events. Looks like he doesn't jam. But instead makes it like 2.6 big blinds. This is a very peculiar size. Edward 9 bigs of his own.
You like jam because...
Likewise,
Yeah.
So
do you like jam because... it's with this delay, so apologies viewers at home because I'm getting annoyed by it. Neither of our fault. We've just got a little bit of a... How far away are you? How many kilometers away would you say you are, Jordan?
Well, I'm a 10-hour flight from Brisbane, so...
Yeah, so there's like a 1 to 2 second like audio delay, and when there's silence, I go, okay, cool, I'll jump in, and then like we're both thinking the exact same thing, and it lines up. But I was just gonna say, you like the jam with King 10 suited because it can be getting some better hands to fold, and even if we do get called off by super premium hands, it still can still play well post or still make good hands to even pip those. Or like, what's the point behind that? Would you say? In terms of you just wanting to see a complete rip.
Well, yeah, those are all good reasons. You can get folds from hands like Ace 3 offsuit, Ace 4 offsuit, from the big blind. But also, if you do min open the King 10, you're going to potentially run into hands that are going to defend against the min raise that actually have a decent amount of equity against you. So say you min raise to 2 big blinds and you get a defend from a hand like 7-5 suited, all of a sudden it's a 60-40, whereas you could just pick up 2.5 big blinds for free.
Gotcha.
So we see Lance here with 4s facing a button rip from the Ace King. For the 9 big blinds that this is, I probably would call a pair, especially after you've already raised. This is another spot where jamming makes your decisions a lot easier, because if you put in 2 big blinds and then fold to this rip, you're putting in 20% of your stack, and the chips do go in. These are the 2 shorties going to war. It's almost a pure coin flip. Let's see who comes out on top.
Called by Lance's pocket force.
Hold.
Flop is 9-10.
Holds the request, and it's holding for now.
Turns a king.
Not anymore. He's a 4 and a 4 only.
That is an 8. Ace King's gonna get the double.
8 of diamonds.
We have a PLO winner, so I'll be back shortly, Jordan.
Fantastic. Congratulations to whomever that is. As Edward is going to be sitting back down. Cannot lose an all-in, it seems.
You didn't either. You were like down really low as well.
Oh well. Gotta win your flips.
It was fair.
Gotta win your flips.
It was a good flip.
You do.
Simple.
Especially like it's
Still at 4, but Lance down to 2 big blinds. We've seen people spin up from less.
Unless you stack big one.
25 behind. Alright.
Ace deuce for Edward. Does raise. Folding around to Lance, who's going to run it.
Alright, I'm happy with that.
And we have another all-in and call situation here.
Lance is all in. And at risk with King Jack off. Called by Eddie's Ace Deuce off diamonds. The flop is King Queen 5. Vance takes the lead.
This is the tournament of the shorties doubling, and the doubling continues.
145. Not much. Something.
That was better than nothing.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take a little something. A little something. So he can be beaten in a flip. I mean, that was a ball.
Yeah.
So now we know he believes.
No, only when he's all in. But
Only when he's away.
True, true,
Okay.
true.
you just win the ones when he's all in.
Well, that's a skill.
Like I say, poker's easy. Just win whenever you're all in. Can't lose. Queen 9 suited for Wallace under the gun now.
Seat 5, rates 250.
Gonna get it all the way through. Jackie 7-5, not interested, I wouldn't think. Lance, though, will be. Pocket queens. He should just rip this. Does so. Edward in the small blind with 9-8 suited. If he was in the big, he may have considered putting this in, but it's difficult in the small blind with a player left to act.
410.
Rip is for 410,000. Wallace doesn't have anything. So this is getting called. It's by Edward. Counting out his stack. Does eventually fold. 6-3 is going to be doing the same thing. I think. AJ, how you doing? Yes, we can see the comments, and no, I don't believe so. Looks like he is going to call.
If you win this,
Another all in
you're
call
going to be a
on
little upset.
the main event final table. Vance all in unaverage with pocket queens. It's been called by the 6-3 up. Flop is deuce 4.
Gutter.
Don't do it. Not
Needs
like
to fade fives now.
8 on the
Can do it on the turn. Needs to do it on the river as well.
Representative.
Easy game.
Vance with the rub.
There's always a sweat. It doesn't matter how good your hand is. There's always a sweat.
Good try, Wallace.
See, he took your advice. He was trying.
2.5 big.
Yeah. Yeah, I did it for Eddie a few times. Can't be always in the community service.
No dramas at all, AJ. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, thanks for the kind words as well.
No. Not that one.
Queens for Edward this time. I'm just saying, what a final this has been. Of all the final tables I've seen, Daniel, it certainly is one of them. Edward in the tank. Takes it to 255. Jack Deuce goes down. Fours for Jackie. Just going to call. No! Takes it to 800. And the snap jam stand up. That looks real weak. Count requested, and I think Jackie is going to sniff out the fact that this is rather strong. Like, I would be surprised if he did this with jacks. Confirming to his friends on the rail that he is, in fact, all in. Very peculiar not all in 3-bet from the fours. I think if you're going to put more chips in, it should be by way of jam. Rather than this kind of awkward position where you've raised and you've faced rip. Does let it go.
Thinking that Wallace was going to 3-bet me there. Not you.
I had a pair.
Yeah, you had a pair? You'll see soon.
You could just tell me.
He loves deuce threes.
I mean,
I'm sure the waiting for Jackie's going to be agonizing.
Not flipping this time. No. Not flipping this time.
Got a team of cheering on Jackie.
no, I can't because Wallace raised.
Ace Queen for Jackie this time on the button. 16 big blinds. Lance with 7.8 in the small.
What's happened?
Maybe this hand unbar. You're supposed to be button, but there's been a fold and a raise.
Yeah.
There's been significant action, so we're going to carry on. Button's going to stay where it is.
Okay. Yeah. 5-4 and 6 raise to 250. Yeah. Yeah, that's all good.
Eddie raised on 5.
Oh yeah, that's right. I raised on the button.
It's too late, I'm afraid.
No, it's all good.
Works for me.
Save 2 BBs.
Yep. Not that it makes all the difference in the slow stack, but a little bit. Gives me 4 more head.
On me?
Yep.
And goes the jam from Lance. Wallace with King 10 for 7.5 bigs. He's going to ask for a count, I think. Yep, count requested. Probably not a call. King 10 suited. The chips would already be in there. King 10 offsuit against somebody like Lance that hasn't been super aggressive with his rips. I can see him just passing this one up.
940. 940.
$140 is the wager.
Hi guys, we're going to break 15 minutes.
And these guys are going to head on a 15-minute break, so we're going to do the same thing. See you all in roughly 15 minutes' time.
I had King 10.
Welcome back, guys, as we continue the action four-handed.
It's out of tune, but the beat stands.
Alright guys, Eddie 160, 160 please. Eddie 160, shop up there.
What?
Oh wait,
Where's-
me? This is the bottom.
No. Oh, it's good, right?
See there? That was right. I can't see right, yeah?
No, no. Because he missed big blind. So he made small blind.
Yeah, it's small. Yeah.
No, it's all good.
Yeah, I'll go for it.
Can I miss big blind again? I paid for you. It's a thing, you know. We've created a precedent.
King Jack for Lance. Good luck.
Oh yeah, there it is. Jackie.
This one should just go in.
Yeah.
Ladies night.
What are you doing? Win on win.
Boy. Jamie. Jamie.
Yeah, he does rip it.
Where's the bowling button?
Where's the all-in button gone?
Try and
They've packed it up already.
It's going to get it through.
I actually prefer missing the big blind.
Yeah, that
That felt better.
Or ace queen for Edward.
Range 325. 6-5. 6-6-12. 6-7-4.
Lady queens, lady kings again.
Ace king for Jackie. Somebody is throwing crockery around in the background. It's like a raise virtually all in. Edward, queen 9. Not going to be getting involved. Does eventually let it go. Queen 10 for Edward.
Cool. 6-4, call to
call. Oh, sorry, a limp and a check from Queen 6. Five on the turn. Four river. Queen 10's going to show it down and win.
I think my queen high is good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Still at 4 now.
Number one in call and final table main event. Lances all in and at risk with the ace 7 offsuit, equipped by Jackie as king queen. Flop is 10-8-4. Turn 7. River deuce. Ace 7 will get.
I just want to get screwed.
Let's go. Yeah.
We're going to put it all back in here.
Now I don't have to pay the big one for you now.
I appreciate it.
Ace 10-8. Both players improving. Hold. Sorry, guys. I did not expect to hear that in the background. That's the 5 river. The 9-8 with a spade is going to win this one. Oh. I don't think somebody at the outer table expected that. I know I didn't.
We have another all in a call. Main event final table.
Ah, no, it's
Winner
not,
with the
Aaron.
ace turn
I'm
off,
sorry.
called by
It isn't.
King Queen of Wallace.
Just seeing all in a call. Ace 10 and King Queen. Let's see all 5.
Flop is 9-3 deuce.
Ace 10 with the best of it still.
Turn 9 of spades.
Flush draw for the King Queen. River is a king.
Gonna lose Jackie in 4th place.
As we say, GG's to Jackie Glazier, eliminated in 4th position. Unable to improve there. Got John cheering on Lance. 9-8 suited for Edward. These guys are all pretty even now. $325 is the size request. Queen 10-4. Another 4 on the turn. Is this ace high still good? Check from Edward. $300K now from Wallace. takes it away. King Jack for Wallace in the small blind. $3.25 and a call. King, Queen, 10. Both these guys improving.
If we back, we have to find that. If we do this, but I didn't pick up.
Ready? 4. No, no win, no win.
Good.
Now you have
You want last hand?
like you
want
are
last hand?
like against
8 of hearts. 3 hearts now. Wallace with more of a hammerlock. Only 5 outs for Lance to make the best hand.
You come for the auto, bro. Okay. Ready? Good luck, good luck, good luck, good luck, good luck.
Thank you.
Six of spades, river. And the jam from the King Jack comes out, applying maximum pressure to Lance. Lance in the tank. Does block Jack 9. Doesn't block any of the King X. Doesn't seem too convinced. This is a jam for roughly 70% pot. If he makes this call, he will be eliminated from this tournament. What is it going to be? He calls!
We have another rolling call. It's gone in on the river board. Is King, Queen, 10, 8, 6. We have King, Jack for top pair. Was scored by Queen, 9 second pair. We are going to lose. Lance in third place.
And with that, we are heads up. Edward and Wallace. Wallace with a massive chip lead.
Oh, I thought you had a heart.
You move 6, 7.
I knew you had a heart. I didn't know if you had a king or not.
Eddie,
Yep.
you're 6-3.
Where the heart
Yeah, I'm
didn't
6-3 here.
No, they are 4. You are 3.
Hmm?
Move. Move
I'm meant to
6-3.
be on
Yeah.
3 now. Is it HU against Wallace?
With that, guys, heads up play is set to begin. We're down to our final 2 competitors in this main event. Wallace Amasana is our leader between the two of them.
Alright, let the battle begin, eh? Sydney represent. Sydney represent. He just had top, it was just top pair, right? And top pair with Jack Hicker, right? Got piles.
Yep. Okay. Small blind, big blind.
I'm small blind?
You're big.
I'm big?
Yeah, you're big.
Okay.
And you're small.
Couple of questions on the payout between 4th and 3rd. And that is because top 3 players are receiving a $1,500 APL Million ticket. Queen 9 and 7-5. Wallace with a gut shot once again. And the best hand at the moment. Edward just going to relinquish.
I just want to say congrats and pleasure playing with you both.
Thanks,
Yeah?
Jackie.
Super well deserved whoever wins it, okay?
See you next time.
Jackie, class as always.
Tough opponent.
I know him.
Ace 9 for Edward, 7 deuce for Wallace.
Relays 325.
Got Vader 6203 saying great river shot by Wallace with top pair and the important Jack of Hearts kicker. Understandable bluff catching, blocking the straight and second pair. Well played by both. GG's. Yep. Absolutely agree with that. Wallace finds the raise to 325 with a hand that he could probably rip himself. Edward with a hand that probably is also a clear jam heads up against an open. See what he decides to do. Just a call. King Jack deuce. Top pair for Wallace. $160. Is ace high going to come along with a call? Yes, it is. Down to 10 big blinds, Edward falls. 87% of the time, we will have a winner in this hand. Even higher now. Wallace turning 2 pair. Oh, check, check, river 7. Wallace setting the trap. 300 and a snap call. Two pair is very good.
How'd you go in the jack stuff?
I lost last 35.
35?
Yeah, 35.
6 deuce for Edward, 9-8 for Wallace. Gets limped in. Check from Wallace. Couple sevens and a queen. 9 high, the best hand. Check, check, it goes. Turn card is an 8, so Wallace once again improving. Edward down to 7.4 big blinds now. Call from the 10-3, all in from 5s. Away the 10-3 goes. Action first on Edward now. Jack 6. Ten eight suited for Edward, 4-3 for Wallace. Limps in. Edward checks it back, I think. Oh, it looked like he just checked. Yeah, he does check it back. Ace, King, Jack. Gut shot for the 10-8. Difficult for it to realize any equity, especially after Wallace stabs. Edward down to 5.9 bigs. Wow, he's going to continue. 4 of clubs on the turn as Wallace actually picks up the best hand. Edward with a flush draw now. Check. And the Queen River and the 10-8 gets there. In goes the all-in. And obviously a quick fold from the pair of fours. These guys playing a $7,000 heads up.
Three call 160. Seven all in.
Call, all in, snap fold. Good aggression there from Wallace. Keeping his foot on the gas. Jack 6 for Wallace, Ace 6 for Edward. Here goes a limp. Expect to see this one get jammed.
Three all in.
Jammed it is. $1,250,000. Wallace in the tank with the Jack 6 suited. Wondering if we run it here. Decides that nope, we do not in fact run it.
Three call to 160. Seven all in. Three call.
All in a fold. Still sub 10 big blinds.
Big blind fee 160.
jam and a fold after raising. Down to 7 big blinds he goes, 1.12 million.
Hello, Mr. Bromley.
As we do say hello to Mr. Hardy. How are we doing on this fine evening?
I'm better now. You can probably assume why I'm better now.
Well, Edward, Queen 7, rips it in, gets snapped off by the ace. Cards on their backs. This could be it. Edward needing to locate a Queen or a 7 to stay alive. Otherwise, we will have a main event champion. These guys seem to be good mates, so it's good to see them kind of jumping together, shaking hands. As we see the King 9-5 turn card is another King, needs to find a Queen or a 7. Can't do it. As we say GG's. And congratulations to Wallace Amasana, our champion in this APLPT main event at Albury's Commercial Club, taking home 17,395. Congratulations as well to our second place finisher. Battle valiantly to stay alive. And with that, we say thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Brendan, for your amazing work as always. Doing a fantastic job behind the scenes. Any quick shout outs you want to make before we take off?
Shout out to my bed in Toowoomba that I have not slept in 2 months. I'm very much looking forward to getting home. So.
All right, fantastic. Well, you travel safe. Thanks again to that man shaking hands on screen, Chris Whitey, for popping in every now and then. Those of you who are watching on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, don't forget to like the socials at Play APL. Oh, thanks, Chris. And follow us on Facebook. Follow us on all of the platforms. My name is Jordan Bromley. On behalf of Joel Williams and the team with APL, thank you so much for being here. We will see you in Brisbane in just a few weeks' time. Until then, stay safe. Enjoy the remainder of your weekend, and we'll see you soon.